I want to thank the member for Mayo for putting this motion forward. It's a comprehensive look at the various telecommunications issues that rural and regional communities face, and my community faces all those issues and needs the same kinds of solutions that are being put forward. I do think, though, it's a bit rich for the member for Berowra and the member for Barker to stand here and talk about a private member's bill that the member for Berowra is putting forward with regard to mobile communication, when they have been part of a government that has been in power for nearly a decade. They've got nearly a decade to fix the flawed mobile black spot funding program, to think more about peri-urban areas. You know, we're coming to the finish line of their third term of government, and I hope it will be their last term of government, and they just stumble to the finish line with something that may or may not make any difference for peri-urban communities. Now, it's been such an ineffective response from the government. They seem to think they have nothing to do with it. Oh, it's Telstra. Oh, it's Optus or Vodafone. Let's blame somebody else for it. Well, that side of the parliament sets the rules under which everybody operates, sets the rules for landline. You know, why don't we have a universal service provision already required for internet? These are the sorts of issues that should have been addressed. They're not new. And let me tell you, in 2013, when my house burnt down in a bushfire and all I could do was occasionally send text messages to my son in the hope that we'd be able to communicate enough for him to escape from what soon turned into an inferno, that was a big wake-up call. The Blue Mountains telecommunications showed its fragility at that point. Yet here we are, 8 years on, and nothing has changed. Now, it isn't just mobile communications, it's also NBN communications. And I'm sorry the member for Barker isn't in the chamber right now, because he is the chair of the NBN committee, of which I am deputy chair. We have a whole report ready to go, not yet signed off. Now, I confess, I was the person who held it up in March when my community was underwater. I could not attend a meeting in order to have that report finalised. But we have since had, I think it must be more than 8 months now, since March, since the end of March, the member for Indi and I have worked collaboratively to try and get this report finalised with the chair. Yet here we are in the last 2 weeks of Parliament, and there is no sign of a meeting being scheduled for the NBN committee to release the report, which will deal with a bunch of the issues that are raised in this motion: the quality of NBN coverage, the challenges that people face. Now, this is a government that goes slow on telecommunications. They gave the Blue Mountains a tower at Mount Tomah. Great, mobile phone communication all set for Mount Tomah. Then it was all a bit too hard. And a year or two later, they pulled that tower away and sent it out to somewhere further west. Now, that's the sort of care and concern that's been given to a community that only 2 years ago went up in smoke. It's a community that is subjected to the worst natural disasters you can see, yet our telecommunication system is just as it was, not much better than 2 years ago or 7 years ago. What we have is a government that has no sense of urgency on these issues. These are life and death issues. These are issues where if that phone doesn't connect you, Mountain Lagoon, if they can't get a phone call through on their landline, they could miss finding out that they are surrounded by fire. The same applies to floods. The McDonald Valley, they face floods and fires. They describe their telecommunications as wholly inadequate, and they have worked assiduously with Optus to try and resolve getting the tower that they've been awarded. I can't even tell you how many years ago it was now. It just isn't happening, and it won't happen in the immediate future. And then you've got people like Nathan and Peter and Phil from Blackstone's Ridge who talk about we had Telstra but no coverage, we went to Optus, not much better, and you're lucky to get 1 bar. The internet is a joke. They tell me that they've spent more than $1,000 on mobile reception boosters, and that barely gives them enough coverage, and they certainly can't hotspot. Now, this is what people are living with, and the people who are responsible and could have fixed this are sitting on that side. It's just not good enough.